Hello, baby.
Hello, nasty. Hello there.
Hello.
I say hello.
Hello, friend.
Well, hello, little girl.
Hello, my treacherous friends.
Hello, operator.
The beginning of everything. Welcome back, my friends. It's showtime.
Hey, party people, it's The Brink of Sanity, episode 248. We are just a couple episodes away from what I think is supposed to be a big episode. So,
What's supposed to be a big episode?
250, I feel like it's a milestone that we should do something for.
Would that be 50 episodes past when we should have stopped the show? Is that the milestone?
No, 247 episodes past.
Another milestone, Jay just had a birthday. Happy birthday, Jay. And I keep
Thank
seeing
you.
these goddamn ants. I have killed 3 ants since we started talking. I
Well,
don't understand I cannot get rid of these ants. This morning, I am down. So for those that don't remember, I have these little, the smallest possible ants are in my house. And I cannot get rid of them. And they are driving me insane. And this morning, I went down to the kitchen, and there was like 100 of them in our kitchen. And I realized we have a side door to our house, which I've not noticed has a huge crack under it, where like the ants could just kind of go in and out like it's a doggy dog.
they're just doing like a Congo line through your door.
Yeah. They're just like ooh, we're gonna like. There's nothing to keep them out. I'm like, I didn't realize I was keeping them out through air. that was my Donald Trump should build a wall in my house to keep the ants out. Forget the Mexicans.
Well, I had my landlord spray the entire building for cockroaches while I wasn't there, so he didn't do my apartment. And they're renovating next door, which I guess scared away all the ones in that building. So I now have like a colony of cockroaches in my kitchen.
No.
Yeah.
Okay, so these little ants I have in my house, they're really small. You just kill them with your finger. They're so small, you don't even mind killing them with your finger. This is kind of annoying. And this morning, when I had a bunch of them in my kitchen, I took a wet washcloth and kind of just like killed them all. It just kind of drove me crazy because you kind of feel like they're all over. You kind of feel like you know like when you feel like you're itching.
Yeah.
And you look and you're like I'm just imagining it, but actually it's an ant crawling up my arm. That was kind of losing my mind. But if I had cockroaches, I would lose my shit.
Yeah, it's so far almost every single one I've seen has been like tiny little baby ones.
Oh God! Not that like babies. I don't want to know they're having sex and multiplying in my apartment.
Yeah, but then there was one brave one that went into the living room in the middle of the day, and it was the biggest cockroach I've ever seen in my entire. Like I smashed it, and it just turned around and looked at me and was like, "What, motherfucker?"
I swear cockroaches make me cringe. I know I am a lot bigger than a cockroach, and I know I'm a guy, so I should be a little more manly about that. Other bugs, a spider, whatever, I'll take some toilet paper, wet it, kill the spider, and throw it in the toilet. But a cockroach, I'm like throwing sneakers at it.
I'm the same way. Cockroaches, for some reason, just freak me out. In Boston, when I lived with Bri, we had a bad cockroach problem, and the first time I saw one, I freaked out, and I got hairspray and a lighter, and I just chased it, trying to burn the thing. I set half my room on fire, but I finally got it.
That's the dumbest. Have you been checked out for being retarded?
I set my garbage can and my curtains on fire.
Did you really do that?
Yeah, that's a true.
We've
story.
talked about this on the show before, actually, I think.
Yeah, it's a true story.
Why would you...
I freaked out, and I didn't want to get near it, so I was chasing it with fire.
So I thought the only way to take out the cockroach was trying to just burn the entire place down.
Well, my intention was not to burn the place down, but to burn the cockroach. But those, as you know, they're fast.
As you know, fire is hot. What did you think? The thing would like light up? Like it would you?
Well, it did once I got it.
Oh, you did actually get it?
I did actually get it, yeah.
But doesn't it like it lights up and so does everything around it, like your wooden wall or whatever?
Well, I mean, if the thing wasn't running so close to flammables, it would have been okay. I mean, when I first started, it was in the middle of the floor, which would have been okay. But then it ran to the sides, and that's when bad stuff happened.
Are you sure you are you sure you have not been checked out for mental retardation?
I was not very with it in college.
I mean, what were the ramifications of this action?
Not much.
Like, I mean, like you burn you set this on fire. Didn't like your RA find out about it?
No, this is like an apartment.
Oh, okay. So your landlord, like, Did someone else find out you did this?
No, it's not like it was like a 3-alarm fire. It was like, my garbage can had like a paper plate and a napkin in it, and the curtains, it was like a 2-inch burn mark. It's not like the whole thing went up.
I pictured like basically the entire house just going, entire like apartment building just going up in smoke.
Well,
Like there's like a giant, like the entire Midwest goes on fire, and they're like, "What happened?" This retard tried to burn a cockroach, and everyone's like, "No, you don't do that."
Well, I mean, after the curtains, he was heading for the bed. So if I didn't get him before he hit the bed, that could have turned into a bad situation.
Even though that's a completely idiotic way to approach a cockroach, I don't blame you because they really are just disgusting. I feel like if I was captured and they were trying to get enemy secrets, U.S. secrets, whatever, they would be like, "Oh, we're going to torture you. We're going to break your arm. I'll never tell. We're going to put a cockroach on you." Here are Hillary's emails.
Yeah.
I don't think I could hold out for half a minute.
Yeah, every once in a while, remember that show Fear Factor?
Yeah.
They would have stuff to like be in a simulated car crash. It'd be like, oh yeah, no problem. But then they'd have one where it's like stick your face into like a bucket of cockroaches, and it'd be like, come out.
Yeah, I don't think I could do that. Well, I definitely couldn't do that. Like, one thing if you're being actually tortured for a game show on television, I don't think I'd stick my face in a bucket of cockroaches.
No.
Oh my god, that actually is making me cringe. I'm not gonna be able to sleep tonight just thinking about it. So, how many cockroaches have you actually seen?
Too many. The little ones I see like 5 or 6 at a time. I just went and I bought all the cockroach traps at Rite Aid, like all of them.
Oh god! So why don't you just? Are they gonna come and spray your apartment?
I think so. Yeah. I want to wait for the construction to be done next door, or else they're just gonna like come back.
Why don't you just have the guy come back twice? Now and when the construction's done, as opposed to dealing with like 300 cockroaches between now and then.
Yeah, no, that's, try and get a New York landlord to spray the entire building with cockroach stuff twice in a month.
I don't know. I just if you have a lot of cockroaches, I would want them to come, I don't know, immediately.
Well, I put in the trap, so we'll see how that works.
Have you been killing them yourself?
When I can.
I always have this nightmare that I'm gonna kill one, but it's gonna be the mommy one. And the mommy's gonna have all these babies, and suddenly the babies are gonna be everywhere. I don't know if that's really based on any possible reality, but that's also for some reason someone had told me you shouldn't stomp on cockroaches because somehow you spread them.
Huh. Well,
but I don't believe that's based on no reality.
What else are you supposed to do? Tickle them to death?
I guess you're supposed to kind of talk down to them till they get depressed and off themselves. I don't know. I if we had cockroaches here, I would freak. These ants drive me insane. But the cockroaches, I think my wife would actually move out. She'd be like, "I'm leaving you." I'm like, "Why? You don't love me anymore?" She's like, "No, I'm just leaving you. And you have the kids. Just I gotta leave out these cockroaches."
Yeah, it's not a good situation.
Oh my god. What if you're sleeping tonight and you start feeling something? You ever think they might get in bed with you?
I'm not worried about sleeping anymore. I got about no sleep last night, so.
You still wear that mask?
I wear the mask, which is hard to sleep to begin with, and then my neighbor who was quiet for the last couple of months after I talked to him, apparently he thought his moratorium on being quiet was over, so he was loud until about 3 a.m.
Okay, so hang on. So you decided you were not going to move apartments. It was this last show, I think you told me off the air, you decided you're no longer going to move. Yet you have black mold, cockroaches, a neighbor that keeps you up at night.
Yeah.
Why are you not moving?
I looked at moving very hard. I even started looking at physically going to apartments.
That's part of looking is actually physically going. Go on.
Well, some people just browse Craigslist and then say, okay, well, I'm done looking.
Well, it's not really a good idea to look just on Craigslist since 90% of all the ads on Craigslist are fake ads. They're all like, oh, this apartment. You call the broker and look, he's like, oh, that one never actually existed, but I have another one that is a much worse deal.
Right, for $150 more a month.
Yeah. I know it said for $200 a month you'll get a deluxe 8-bedroom apartment with and a penthouse view, but instead for $12,000 a month we have a single room occupancy. What do you think?
I answered an ad. I think it was 2 hours after it was posted, and I got an email back saying that one's taken. I'm like, how the hell is that one taken already?
Because it never was available. They seriously don't. They seriously basically have ones that just aren't available. They just they put the ad up that sounds too good to be true, and then they always say, "Oh, that one was just taken, but I have another one that you would never would have replied for, but come see it anyway."
They must, because there's no way you can show and have somebody sign for an apartment within 2 hours.
What was it? I had a friend who did for a short while was a rental apartment broker for rentals, and he said his boss came to him and said, "Why are you putting up your ads for no broker ads?" And he said, "Well, I'm a broker. I can't put up no broker fee ads. We're charging a fee." And he's like, "Well, you're not going to make it in this industry if you're not going to like lie about that."
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, "Okay, I'm just not going to make it in this industry." And he kind of gave up shortly thereafter. He said, he's like, there are guys there that really could do it really well. He's like, I just couldn't lie to people like on moment one."
So they put no broker fee, fully knowing that there is a broker fee.
Yeah.
Nice.
Like he was just like, you have to put your listings in the no broker fee ad part. And you want people to look at them. Yeah, obviously.
Wow.
You didn't come on. You had to think they did that anyway. Like I kind of before you told me that I kind of assumed they did that.
Mm-hmm.
But I was like, oh, makes sense.
Yeah, no, I assume they did that.
Actually telling them to do that.
Yeah.
It wasn't just like some brokers are shady and they're doing it. It's like the broker's boss is like, this is what you should do.
Yeah. So basically, I'm just hoping that, he had some friends from out of town, and it was like a one-time thing, and not like, well, I guess I was quiet for long enough, and now I could be loud again. But we'll see. We'll see how tonight and.
Do you want to cut to the conversation with your neighbor? Let's see how it goes. Your next conversation with him.
Okay.
Hey, you look familiar.
Yeah. I was the guy who came down at 4 a.m. a couple Saturdays ago.
Yeah, why don't come to my apartment at 4 a.m.? I mean, like you shouldn't come. You shouldn't wake people at that hour.
Yeah, you weren't asleep.
Yeah, so whatever. I'm doing stuff at 4 a.m. You should mind your own business. Could you please go back to your apartment?
You realize like my entire bed vibrates because you got that awesome subwoofer that you put under my bed.
You're welcome.
Yeah, that's not really like a thank you thing.
You're welcome.
I was thinking maybe you could just not have that on at 4 a.m. or even like 2 or 3 a.m.
Oh, you still want me to send the cockroaches?
Actually, if you could keep those to yourself too, that would be really excellent.
What about the black mold? Do you still want me to spread black mold in your apartment?
You're doing all this to me, huh?
Well, I mean, I was hoping you would move so I could take your apartment. But if you're going to stay there, black mold, cockroaches, and vibrating bed, they're going to keep coming. I have plagues, actually. You don't want to see what happens when we get to the ninth plague.
Oh, that's your next move?
Well, no, at some point I want to kill the firstborn. Are you the older one?
I'm not going to answer that.
Okay, then we'll find out what happens. Anyhow, you might have locusts next.
So, yeah, that doesn't sound like a good thing.
You made me feel a lot better about the ants.
Yeah. Anytime you feel bad about your situation in life, just ask me how I'm doing.
No matter what I ask you, it'll be like, oh, I had trouble sleeping last night. Well, I haven't slept in 38 weeks.
I am seriously considering getting the surgery. Yeah, very soon.
Which surgery are you on now?
Well, I had the other eye surgery last week.
You did the LASIK. Okay, so what surgery could you be talking about?
The tonsil removal surgery and the uvula removal surgery.
I don't even know what a uvula is.
It's a little.
I thought that's what women have.
It's the little dangly thing in the back of your throat.
I thought that was the tonsil.
The tonsils are on the side of your throat.
I couldn't really tell you what's in your throat. Do you get ice cream?
Yeah, you get as much ice cream and Jell-O as you want, as long as the Jell-O is not red.
Why? Are you making a joke or what?
No. They told you not to eat red Jell-O because then if your wound opens up and you're internally bleeding, you wouldn't know. You would just think it was the Jell-O.
Okay, well.
Doesn't that make you feel more comfortable about this?
That's wonderful. Are you gonna have pudding pops from Bill Cosby?
No, I think I'm gonna stay away from Bill Cosby edibles.
Bill Cosby red Jell-O. It'll make you bleed, ladies. Yeah.
So I may be doing that this month. Is it August yet? By the time this airs, it'll be August. Yes, I may be doing that this month.
That really. So what will getting your tonsils out do for you? Like, what are you in pain? Like, how do you even know you need your tonsils out, or just the doctor just like fucking with you?
They're extreme.
What else can we do to Jay now?
Summer of surgeries.
Jay, I was thinking that I'm falling behind on my car payment. Do you mind if I cut out your ear?
Just
You
one.
need this. It's very important.
It'll help you sleep better.
Yes. Jay, I was thinking I need a new house in the Hamptons. I'm gonna give you heart surgery. Do you mind if I just open your heart and close it? We'll take a look at it, wave high, and then sew you back up. It'll probably cost your insurance company, hopefully you have one, $800,000. Are you down for it?
Oh yeah, sure. It's summer of surgeries.
It'll help you sleep better. So what is it supposed to do?
Well, my tonsils are apparently ridiculously abnormally large. So
Ladies. I don't know what you're looking for in a guy, but like I'm hung well in my mouth.
so they
Are there any ladies that are like you're talking to them and they're like, oh my god, no, keep talking. Oh wow. Has anyone ever noticed it?
No, I mean you only notice it if like you are looking in the back of my throat.
Do any ladies ever open your mouth and go, let me look inside there? I don't believe what they're saying on the street. I hate to see it. Did your doctor what was your doctor's reaction to saying that you have no abnormally large
Well, he was like, your tonsils are like really, really big, right?
How would you know your tonsils are really big? How would you be like? I mean, obviously, I've known for years. I'm very well hung in the tonsil department.
Yeah, I had no idea.
It's not like you're like. I mean, like when you're in the locker room, do you not check out each other's tonsils and notice that yours are a lot bigger? How would you possibly know your tonsils are bigger than other people's?
I don't know. I guess if you're gasping for breath at night, that's a sign number one.
Is it? I wouldn't know that was my tonsils.
I didn't either.
How would I don't understand. Ooh, Jay, you must obviously know your large intestine is larger than normal large intestines.
Right.
It's not like you look at this. Did he really say assuming you already knew?
Yeah.
How did he say it exactly?
Exactly like I said. Like your tonsils are really large, right?
Are tonsils a euphemism into you're coming out to me? What did you say back?
I said no, and what does that mean? And then he said, well, that's could be contributing to your apnea.
So I like he phrased it in and I like he phrased his answer back in I don't know, that could possibly be what the reason that you can't sleep, or it might not be. It wasn't. Was he authoritative? Like that's the reason that you're not able to sleep, or like that could be contributing to it, or maybe you've cut your hair too short recently, and that could be contributing.
I mean, well, the way I figure it is, if I get the surgery, I'm not going to be able to eat for days, so I'm going to lose like 10 pounds.
Well, that's a good. Don't you want your doctor to be more authoritative than the words "could be"?
Yeah.
You're like, you went to fucking medical school and you're saying "could be"?
So the way I figure it is, even if it's not, me losing 10 pounds would probably get rid of the apnea too. So
couldn't you just not eat? Couldn't you just like go on a diet for 10 days instead of having something cut out your throat?
I'm pretty sure that's what's contributing to it.
What the tonsils or the wait.
The tonsils. My
How do you know what they're contributing? Like what basis? Just because the doctor said, they're kind of large and they could be, because it could be anything really.
No, because I could tell when I lay on my back, like my airway, like
you feel the tonsils kind of like, oh man, you're right. I do have heavy tonsils.
My airway like instantly shuts off.
You lay on your back and your tonsils choke you out.
Yeah, it's not fun.
I'm gonna lay down.
It's not fun.
It's like who's that superhero that becomes like the really small one? They just made a movie about it.
Ant-Man.
Okay, so it's like Ant-Man's in your throat choking you out every time you try to lay on your back.
Yeah, it's fun.
How long has this been going on for?
My theory is about 8 years.
So you're going on could be's and theories?
No, because when I was living with the doc in the East Village, I got some sort of infection and my tonsils almost, they got so big it almost closed up my throat. And so I'm thinking it never got back down to normal size.
Why didn't you get rid of them then? Like I thought, anytime your tonsils had any issue, like if they were itchy, they just took them out.
They gave me like steroids and like they went down enough so that like breathing wasn't an issue, but I don't think they ever went down to the point where it was like it was before that.
Hang on. You've been lying because you said the guy said to you, you know your tonsils are abnormally large, and you said, no, I did not know that, but you actually knew that 8 years ago.
No. I knew my tonsils almost closed up 8 years ago, but then when I took the medication and they went down a little bit, I thought it went back down to normal because I never looked at my tonsils ever before.
Why don't you look at them before you go out for a night?
So when they were...
This wasn't... But hang on. I'm just saying this conversation about the tonsils wasn't out of left field. It wasn't like you were like, tonsils? That's insane. It was more like, oh, yeah, they used to be kind of big and they got small. That makes sense, Doc.
Yeah, but I never put that together because they got smaller from when I actually looked at them for like the first time in my life.
By the way, no one... You're probably the only person who last... Like, no one gets this where their tonsils get really big and they chokes them off. Like, why are you the luckiest person alive?
My coworker got it like 3 weeks ago. He wasn't sleeping.
So basically, if I was in the same room as you, I could catch it?
He wasn't...
You spread your infection? Oh, just hang out with me. If you come near me, you can get cockroaches, black mold in your apartment, and your tonsils will blow up and choke you out.
I am just a walking hex.
Yeah, it sounds like it. Your coworker got it?
Yeah, he got diagnosed with apnea, and he's like, you know what? I'm not even gonna mess around with that machine. Just cut out my tonsils immediately.
I mean, if you told me I had to sleep with like a Darth Vader thing on my head, I would just say, yeah, you cut out my throat.
Yeah.
Oh, you mean you want us to cut out your tonsils? No, I want you to kill me instead of me to see that stupid fucking Darth Vader mask.
Yeah, exactly. So he didn't even mess around with the mask. He just like, just give me the surgery. He lost 10 pounds. He said he's sleeping way better.
So this means you don't have to be Bane anymore?
Right.
So you don't have to wear the mask anymore?
Correct.
Assuming this goes well.
Right.
So do you think this basically has been cutting off your air passage and making you, this is causing the apnea?
Well, that's literally what apnea is, the cutting off of your airway.
Oh, thank you for being literal. I'm trying to understand, and you're being an asshole, aren't you? Well, that would be if that does it, that'd be fantastic. I mean, like,
yeah, I mean, I would get like a week off from work, and it would be called sick days because I'd be getting surgery, so I wouldn't use my vacation days.
Does your insurance company hate your guts?
Oh yeah.
Listen, Jay, we didn't want to actually like you to use the entire insurance policy. You're putting our giant insurance company out of business.
I'm literally getting like everything done this year, so.
They're like, do you know how many healthy people we have to sign up to have you to support your habits?
If I get whacked on the way to work one day, you'll know it's the insurance company.
You need healthcare once you're dead. Oh, wonderful. I don't think I've even been to a doctor in the last. Well, actually, I've been to the dentist, and I went to the eye doctor when I scratched my cornea. Which I guess that was moronic. When I thought I had a contact in my eye, and I did not. Did I tell you the story where I thought I had a contact in my eye, did not have a contact in my eye, and scratched?
Oh yeah, you're just like picking at your eyeball.
I was positive I still had my contact in my eye, and I'm like, oh, it's not coming out. It's like, this must be really stuck. This was really stuck. And I went to the eye doctor, and I'm like, my contact won't come out. And they're like, okay, look into this, and they're like, and they asked me like I think I had a contact on one. I had one eye. It was both eyes. So I had my eye that did not have a contact, just did not have anything. And they're like, "Is it blurry?" I'm like, "Yeah, this is blurry, and this one's whatever." And they're like, "Yeah, sir, you don't have any contacts in that eye." I'm like, "I've been scratching it for the last 12 hours." And they're like, "Yeah, that's why you're uncomfortable at this point. It's just because you've been scratching your eye, you moron." Like, great. And they're like, here's this drop in your eye. I had to like wear these drops for like a week.
You know, he told that story to his eye doctor friends for like the next 5 years.
Oh, I'm like, well, a lot of people like this happens. Other people do this, but they think they have the contact, and they're like, oh yeah, this totally happened. Really? Oh, you don't know how common. I mean, every hour someone comes in with the exact same thing. Sure. They try to be nice to you because they don't want to say, yeah, no, this is a story I want to tell about some moron who thought he'd been scratching his eye for the last night.
Right. It's like, I can't wait to hang out with the guys this weekend.
Oh, you don't know how I was just positive it was in there. And I think I realized tracing it back, and like I fell out when I was in the shower. But I was so positive, I just kept like trying to get out, and like I was like I thought I saw it, and it was not good. It hurt a lot.
Well, I'm glad somebody else has a dumb story for once.
Yeah, no, it's nice I can contribute to the I can. But yeah, that was I went to the eye doctor, and I don't even get regular checkups, which I probably should.
Yeah, maybe
Actually, I had my shirt off the other day. My wife was like, "You should get that mole checked out on your back," and I was like, "I have a mole on my back," and now I should get the mole checked. Do you ever get that stuff checked out?
No, like once every like 5 years, I'll go to a dermatologist.
I don't think I've ever been to a dermatologist.
Yeah, I've been just milking the shit out of my insurance, really.
I should really actually get on that.
Because when I got laid off from my last job, I was like, you never know when you're going to lose your job. So now when I got this job, I'm like, I'm seeing every single doctor like regularly forever.
Listen, boss, I have doctor's appointments from now through the end of the year. Oh, you mean how many do you have? Literally the number of days there are left in the year. I have that many doctor appointments. I'm not going to be at work again. Okay?
I'm not even exaggerating. I go to a doctor about once a week, and I've done that for the last few months.
What the fuck do you go for?
Well, a lot of it is like chiropractor visits and like.
You said doctor.
So the massages don't count either?
Oh my god! Do you really think the chiropractor helps?
Yeah, it does.
Do they give you? Is the happy ending what helps? Is it wrong to ask your chiropractor for happy ending?
Well, yeah, you don't ask. You kind of just roll over onto your stomach, onto your back.
He's like, year 3 of chiropractor school was just about happy ending technique. I was in the supermarket, and there was a guy it was a chiropractor trying to get like, we'll give you a free checkout or whatever. And I'm like, sure. I lay down. The guy's like, your neck and back is out of alignment, and your spine is going this way and that way. And through my techniques, I was like, what the fuck are you talking about? It was just like, I was like, you can just tell me I'm like, my disc. It's just like, he's like, my spine is out of alignment. Really?
That guy sounds like a crook.
Yeah, I was like, you know what? From now on, I'm going to shop for like apples and bananas. I'm not going to also talk about doctor there.
I mean, I went in for really bad back pain, and she actually fixed it. So, it does work if you don't go to like that. That guy just sounded like a scam.
No, I don't know. He was just a guy in like supermarket. It was just like, I imagine everyone that went. It's the same thing as those people with those people in the subway with the monitors. The Scientology people who were like, you ever done the Scientology thing?
No, I've never come across that. I know they measure your thetans.
You've never come across that?
No, I know they measure your thetan levels, but I have never actually seen one doing it.
I feel like they used to see them on the subway all the time, and maybe they've gotten rid of them.
You think South Park ruined that for them?
Maybe. I don't know. But it was like this thing where you hold these. They basically have.
Did you see that South Park episode?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. They basically have like a metal box with these 2 handles, basically equivalent of a toy my kid would have.
So it's exactly what it was in South Park.
It's exactly. And they're like, they hold it and they're like, have you ever been unhappy? I'm like, yes. They're like, when? I'm like, right now, because I'm holding this dumb metal thing talking to you. And they're like, well, maybe your like they're just like, I'm like, this makes no sense. They're like, well, it's all in this book. I'm like, what the fuck are you whatever. But anyway.
Was it Dianetics?
Yeah, that is Scientology, Dianetics.
That's written by a science fiction writer, and that they made a religion after that.
Yeah, the whole thing. Obviously, I thought we were on the same page, not believing in Scientology. Were you just like trying to explain?
No, I just find it funny that like a known science fiction writer writes a book, and they're like, yeah, that's going to be our religion.
I mean, is it to be fair? Even though Scientology seems absurd, and so does Mormonism. I mean, like they're both based on like con men, basically. But does it seem any more ridiculous than any of the other religions?
No, honestly.
I mean, any of those stories, if they happened recently, you'd say, okay, Abraham tried to kill his baby. I know you said God talked to you, but we're going to put you in jail.
Yeah.
Moses parted the sea. Okay, I'm the son of God. Okay, well, you're not actually. No, would you believe any of these stories?
I saw somebody post something today that said the story of Mary where covering up an affair got way the fuck out of hand.
Yeah, I mean that sounds about right. I mean, all the stories, like you just switch them, and you made Scientology from 8,000 years ago. You'd be like, oh, that sounds real. That makes sense. If it's old enough, we'll believe it.
Right.
But do you think just on a total side note, do you think people sometimes when they talk about slavery, they don't defend all the positives about it?
That was a interesting segue.
I mean, so I'm just talking about there's a great crusader, Bill O'Reilly, who was pointing out recently about how the slaves were actually well fed and treated well. There was during the conventions, Michelle Obama made reference to living in a house that was built by slaves, the White House. And
So
O'Reilly,
Bill O'Reilly hates Democrats so much that he'll actually defend slavery just to disagree with them.
yes. He said slaves that worked there were well fed and had decent lodgings provided by the government, which stopped hiring slave labor in 1802.
I want to see her say something about Hiroshima and just see him try to justify nuking innocent Japanese people.
I mean, what would he not say? Well, I mean, prior to the gas chamber, those Jews were really well fed.
Like they weren't, but
I mean, then they were roasted. But beyond that, I mean, I just couldn't even believe what? And it also is if someone. It also is the difference. If someone in a normal if you were on NBC News and you said this, your job would be over. If you're on Fox News, they're like, well, I mean, did you molest any women at work today? If not, you can keep your job.
right.
I just thought that was a funny story. So I heard you told me before the show, Jay told me that last episode when I was not on was one of our higher rated episodes.
Yeah, it beat out the last 1, 2, 3, 4 episodes.
Apparently, I'm the least favorite. Apparently, if I leave the show, that is your key to the Brink of Sanity taking off.
It was the second most downloaded out of the last 20.
Out of the last 20?
Yeah, it was the second most downloaded out of the last 20 episodes.
You know what? Hang on. I got to wait for you to make this episode higher. If you want that episode to beat that last week, just call this episode Pokemon Go.
Yeah.
Do you play Pokemon Go?
I do.
You did? Really?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought you might think it's lame enough that you would not play it.
That's Bri. If anything gets any sort of popularity, Bri instantly hates it.
So what do you do? I'm not down. It did kind of come out of nowhere, I guess. This game. You just download and look at your phone for Pokemon. And...
Well, it's a complete copy of this game called Ingress. It's actually the makers of Ingress. They really just put Pokemon over an already existing game.
I can't believe you even know this. Go on.
I might have played Ingress too.
What's Ingress?
It's basically the same game. There's different spots on the map, and you go there and in Ingress you go there and you try and take it over from other people, and it's real people.
So basically they took a game they had that wasn't that popular.
Right.
Was it a popular game?
Not really.
And they kind of found a way to re-release it and probably made shitload of money.
Right. Basically all the spots that you would go to in Ingress, they made spots where Pokemon generate out of. So
how does it work exactly? Because they're not looking at the entire map of the United States and putting Pokemon in there, are they?
Yeah, it's the entire world.
But is it I'm saying, is there a computer formula? There's not individuals going, I want a Pokemon there, I want a Pokemon there. How does it work exactly? If you turn your phone on, will there automatically be Pokemon near you?
If you turn your phone on, you'll see all these called Pokestops, which is storefronts or statues or just things around. It's actually kind of interesting because you go to some and you're like, oh, I never even knew that was actually existing in the city. So
So what did you find?
Just a couple cool statues and paintings and stuff.
You're like, I didn't know there were homeless men. Listen, homeless men, there's a Pokemon on you. I've got to get the Pokemon. I will not leave you any change because you're a blight on society. Bye.
So you could go to all those spots, and when you click on them, you have to be there to click on them. You get experience, and you get like items and stuff. And then Pokemon randomly come out of those spots.
Oh.
So then once they come out, you can try and catch them.
Have you caught any Pokemon?
Yeah, I have, yes.
Ooh, I've got big tonsils and I've caught some Pokemon, ladies.
So I went to the South Park part of Central Park on Thursday.
Is it South Park part of Central Park?
South Part.
South Park. I was really intrigued with the South Park part.
Like the south entrance.
Okay, yeah.
And there's 5 of those stops all like connected to each other. So like a lot of Pokemon come out. I'm not even exaggerating. There was 1,000 people standing in this little area, all playing Pokemon. It was eerie because it was kind of quiet because everyone's like, everyone's playing the game and like you just.
Okay, you posted a picture on Facebook. You said everyone's playing Pokemon, and I thought you were kidding.
No.
You were just dead serious. Everyone actually was playing Pokemon.
So realistically speaking, 95% of everyone in that picture, and that picture only caught maybe like 1/5 of the people there.
Wait, so is everyone on the same game? Like you don't have your own version of Pokemon. Everyone, like if one Pokemon comes out, everyone sees that same Pokemon.
If you're a high enough level, like the rarer ones will only show up if you're a higher level, and each Pokemon has a level. So like, say I'm level 20 and you're level 10, like. Yeah. The power level of the Pokemon might be 200 for me and like 100 for you.
So what does that mean?
Well, because you could take your Pokemon, and then there's also like gyms. There's gyms, and you could go and you could fight other people with your Pokemon.
You could fight other people with your Pokemon?
Yeah.
Do you have to actually physically fight? I assume you're not physically. Have you got a chance? Have you fought anyone yet?
Yeah.
You have?
Yeah.
Oh my God, tell me. So where do you go? You're like, when you meet some stranger, like, we must duel.
Well, no, there's like.
Hang on, what if you found out the Pokemon you had to fight was your neighbor that keeps you up? Oh, you won't be playing music at 4 a.m. because now that I will kick your Pokemon's ass.
No, there's designated gyms around, and so you can only fight.
Gym?
It's called a gym, yeah.
Like you're like going to Gold's Gym being like, listen, you guys lifting weights, I've got to fight. I got to do a Pokemon fighting.
Right.
Clear the way.
So you can only fight other Pokemon at those places.
So tell me where are places?
Like there's one right at the subway stop right by my place.
How do you like? I guess it says this is where you must go.
It's like a different image. Like the regular stops where the Pokemon come out are just solid blue, and the.
By the way, this already sounds way too confusing for me to even do. I can't even download it and look for it. I'm already like confused and lost interest. So you go to your. So is this where you fought them right by your subway stop?
Yeah.
Okay, you go to your subway stop.
I got up this morning and I went to go get breakfast, and I walked past there, and I'm like, oh.
Hang on, I have a question. So you're going to be fighting this morning. Do you eat a bigger breakfast? You're like, listen, I'm going to do the Rocky breakfast. I'm going to crack some eggs in a glass and just drink it because I've got to be ready to fight Pokemon. Is that what you do? What do you have for breakfast?
I had a sausage, egg, and cheese on a roll.
Okay, that was like your manly breakfast. You're like, I've got to take on a Pokemon.
Yes.
Okay, so you go to your subway stop. It's a big. I've been to your place. It's kind of a bigger subway stop.
Yeah.
So you go there.
Mm-hmm. I go to the gym, and you could see who's in the gym, and there's basically everyone.
Was it like a 5-year-old kid?
No, I've never even seen kids playing. It's all adults.
Because it'd be great if it was an 11-year-old boy and you broke his heart. But I have cancer. Yeah, and cancer's gonna beat you, and so am I. So you get there and you see how many other people are in the gym.
Well, when you go to the gym, everyone who plays, you pick a color. There's 3 different colors. So if it's your color, you could train at the gym. If it's a different color,
you can train at the gym.
Yeah, and if it's a different color, then you fight whoever's there and try and take it over. So it was not my color.
I can't believe they have grown adults doing this. Go on.
So it was not my color, and the guy was weak.
What color are you?
Yellow.
It's not red, white, and blue.
It's red.
Fucking un-American game.
It's yellow, red, and blue.
Okay, it's fucking Chinese. Okay, so it's what color are you?
Yellow.
Okay, so if you got, let's say you show up and there's other yellows.
Yeah.
What do you do? What's training mean? Do you do push-ups? What do you do? Or your Pokemon's doing push-ups?
Well, no, I could add my Pokemon to the gym so that it's harder to take over. You can add up to like 3.
Jay,
Yeah.
your phone.
Huh?
Are your Pokemon's eating your face? Where are you?
I'm right here.
I lost you.
No, you didn't. Well, you're
Okay,
responding to everything I say.
I was not responding to everything you were saying. I didn't hear what you were saying. I was just talking anyway.
Well, it worked out so that everything I said you responded perfectly to.
Well, that's how we should do the entire show with us not hearing each other. That would be better. So you show up. I'm just asking, what is training involved? What are you doing to train as a Pokemon?
You could you fight the guy who's on your team, but you get more energy if you beat him.
Okay. So you show up and you see you're yellow, he's red. The red guy's there, and you're like, what is this person? Are you fighting multiple people? Is it like a gang war, or are you fighting just one person?
Well, you could fight up to 3, depending on
At a time?
Well, like if I take over the gym, my guy goes there, and now if another yellow guy shows up, he can put his guy there.
If it's a lady, can your Pokemon rape their Pokemon? And is it appropriate to talk about rape in the game?
I'm gonna say no on both counts.
Okay, just checking. Are there female Pokemon?
Yeah.
Like Pokewoman?
Yeah.
Do you go? Are there places to go for like you're like, we're not gonna go to the gym together. We're gonna go for after go for drinks.
Actually, around my neighborhood, I see tons and tons of couples walking around doing that.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I'm wondering if anyone meets like on Pokemon, like people are like, oh, we met through a friend. We met on Match.com. We met through Pokemon.
There's like 2 bars a couple blocks from me that are right next to each other, and they each have like one of those Pokestops. And every time I walk past there's like 5 groups of people all like sitting there waiting for Pokemon to come out.
Also, if you're fighting a woman, do you have to like take it easy on her?
No, I don't think so.
Okay, so in Pokemon world, you're allowed to hit a woman.
Yeah.
Okay, so for all the children listening, I'm sure there are a lot. You're not allowed to hit a woman unless you have a Pokemon and you can beat the crap out of her.
Correct.
So you show up. What's this guy look like you're going to fight? How many people did you fight this morning?
3.
You fought 3 people?
Yeah.
What are you, Jason Bourne? I'm like Jean-Claude Van Damme. So you show up. What do the other people look like?
I did not see them.
Or did they all wear their Bane masks also?
I didn't see them.
You didn't see them?
No, all right. So I beat the guy, and so now I took over the gym. So now it's my gym.
Wait, no, I'm saying you don't see the people you're fighting?
No, because you're not fighting in like real time. Like his guy, he puts his guy there. So like,
wait, what?
Listen, he put his guy in the gym. So I walk past, I see his guy there. So I fight his guy. I beat him. So now I could put my guy in the gym. Now, if I waited around, somebody else would have come to try and fight me, or I could just leave my guy there and go about my day. And when somebody else shows up,
you drop him off like a toddler at,
yes.
at daycare?
Yes. So later in the day, somebody.
Okay. I know we're so close to Pokemon. I've got to leave you for the day, but Daddy, no. I gotta go to. I gotta earn a living, Pokemon. We have to. But Daddy, don't worry. I'm just gonna leave you here by the train, and someone may come up and beat the crap out of you while I'm gone.
Yes. So I got my sandwich, and I didn't feel like waiting around anymore, so I left.
So the other person does not have to actually be there with you.
Right.
Is it against the law to leave your Pokemon for more than a certain amount of hours?
No, they automatically come back to you if nobody beats you after 24 hours.
So they're like those cats and dogs from like those nature videos where like, Furry the cat, like he was left, his family moved 300 miles away, but he ran and he found them in Montana.
Yes.
Okay. You've seen those stories where the family moves or something like that, or they get lost and they go 300 miles to find the family?
Exactly.
Okay, so now you have a nature video about a Pokemon finding you.
Yes.
Okay, so the person, because I thought you guys get there and you're like, ooh, man with the mustache, I think we're fighting today.
What you do, sometimes you see, like I said, if I waited like another 5 minutes, somebody would have came along and fought me. But I didn't feel like waiting, so Yeah, I leave my guy there, and then like the computer.
Do you think it
fights
ever
me.
happens where like someone's like, it's like, oh, I beat you up, and the guy's like, okay, well, I'm gonna beat you up in real life. Oh, fuck.
Probably.
So you get there, and why didn't you wait around? Did you want to see the person you're beating?
No, I wanted to eat breakfast more.
Okay, but I thought you ate breakfast beforehand.
No, I went to go get breakfast.
Oh, this is before you even had breakfast. You were so confident. You were like, on my way to breakfast, gonna beat someone up, and then eat a breakfast to reward myself.
This is on my way because I had to pass the place on the way to get my breakfast. So as I'm walking to the place, I'm fighting. I'm not just standing there.
You go out in the morning for sauce. Oh, it's a Sunday. Never mind.
Yeah.
I was like before work. You're like I am ambitious. I will go out and eat a sausage and then go to work. Did the doctor say, the one thing you could do to help your apnea is not go out for sausage before work?
I do have to say though, I've been getting a lot more exercise with this stupid game.
We become like a fit America.
Well, because you also get these eggs, and they hatch Pokemon after you walk a certain amount. And it tells you like it could be 2, 5, or 10 kilometers, and the rarer ones come out of there sometimes. So I may have walked 9 kilometers yesterday just trying to hatch these stupid eggs.
Wait, you purposely... I understand if you were like, oh, we were walking around the city a lot, and then this happened, but you were like purposely like, gotta walk more, gotta hatch some eggs out of my ass.
Kinda.
Wow, how much have you playing this game?
Too much.
Holy shit. How much fun... I assume also, here I'm also assuming, that I don't think you're such a bizarre person. I assume that if you're doing this, there are so many other goddamn people doing the exact same thing for like...
It's so funny because like a lot of my coworkers are into it, and so around lunchtime they all like come to my office and they ask if I want to go on poke hunts, and we like
oh my god,
we walk around during lunch and look for Pokemon.
Holy shit!
It's like 5 grown adults. Like
I feel like you're a poke hunt sounds like they're like it just sounds like I don't think an adult male is saying to me, "You want to go poke hunting with me?" I'm like, no, I like my asshole.
It's fun. It's fun.
Oh my god! I guess like I understand this is a shared experience, and maybe it's like you guys are both into like being fucking. It's a little. Wow. So. Wow. Okay. So.
You're like.
I didn't even realize. Also, my understanding, I didn't really. People at the work talk about it a little bit. I read stuff online. I didn't really look into it because I didn't really get like how much do I really care about video games to begin with. And I assumed it was something like you turn your phone on, you see some Pokemon around you, you go and like go, ooh, I got a Pokemon, I get some points, and la la la. I didn't realize it was like that's complicated of a game.
Well, I mean, you don't have to do any of that gym stuff. You could just go around and catch Pokemon, which is what I usually do.
But real men do the gym stuff.
No, I usually do not go to the gym. I just happened to go this morning.
I happen to walk like 5 blocks out of the way to make sure I can go there for fighting. And like yesterday, I happened to walk 9 kilometers to drop some eggs out of my ass.
Well, the egg thing is a different story.
Honey, I laid some eggs. I'm so proud of you, and you're doing such a good job on your diet. Tell me about this fighting. So you show up. I guess this person's not there, but they've abandoned their Pokemon there, and you're going to beat up an abandoned Pokemon, like an orphan Pokemon.
Yeah.
So what does fighting actually entail?
Not much. I mean, you like.
Is it like pressing A B like you're playing Nintendo?
Pretty much, yeah. You could dodge left and right. You tap on the screen to attack, and you hold it to do a special move. That's it. It's not like very complicated. Right.
Dear Skype, the free product you gave me the free product you gave me does not work very well. Could you please fix it? You know what I was thinking about? We'll go back to Pokemon 1 second. People complain all the time about Facebook is just full of ads now, or they're trying to invade my privacy, or Twitter's invading my privacy. You have all these things that cost millions and millions of dollars to operate online. You're getting for free, and you're complaining because they want to advertise to you? Or they want to get your information so they can better advertise to you?
Yeah, that is true. You could just not use it.
I mean, it's not even just you just not use it. You're getting a free service. Stop being an asshole about it.
Right.
I don't know. If they were like, Jay, this apartment's free, and then they dropped ads in your apartment, you wouldn't be like, oh wow, why the hell? I can't believe they're watching me eat dinner and then trying to advertise to me food.
Right.
You'd be like, yeah, it makes sense because I live in a free apartment.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like, people are assholes. So tell me how this fighting thing works.
Let's move on.
You want to move on to Pokemon?
Yes, I do.
I'm so interested in Pokemon. I
You
want to know more.
You should get it, and then we can talk about
I'm not gonna know. Tell me more about Pokemon. Okay, you suppress AB, you beat the crap out of Pokemon. I guarantee you Pokemon in the episode with the highest rated download we've ever had. You don't think it's interesting to explain your Pokemon fascination?
I have no idea. I don't know what people like anymore.
I have no idea. I'm just curious about Pokemon.
So anyway, yeah, I beat the guy, and then now I can put my guy in the gym. I did not want to wait around for somebody to fight me, so I went home, left my guy in the gym, and somebody else beat me. By the time I got home, I turned the thing back on, and my guy was already beat.
Okay. Have you ever beat someone that? So they'll fight for you. Do you think they fight better if you're there?
I think so. Yeah.
Okay. So then why didn't you wait around?
Like I said, I had my
lack of fucking
sandwich.
dedication, dude.
Yeah, I know. I just like catching them. I don't really need to fight them and do any of that crap.
Have you ever fought someone where you've seen the person there?
Yeah.
And do you guys stare at each other while you're fighting?
No, you just you look up, you make some awkward eye contact, and then you look.
Do you
back
ever
down.
drink afterwards? Be like, was it good for you?
It was outside that bar. That's where everyone fights.
We get drunk and we fight Pokemon. The world becomes savages. Yeah.
So I
did
went.
you know? This is what I was thinking about. Also, apparently, the lawmakers are fearing unexpected entrance of sexual predators into Pokemon Go.
Anything on the internet's gonna bring that. That's just what happens.
Apparently, in 59 cases, those locations were within half a block of sexual offenders.
You know why? Because they're literally everywhere. Have you ever gone on the sexual offender website?
Oh, I thought you were in Pokemon earlier.
No,
sexual offenders are good.
Go on the sexual predator website. I find a 1 square mile area without one.
Oh my god, I don't want to do it.
Don't. They're literally everywhere. So
I wonder if they're in my neighborhood.
Of course they are.
What's the website?
I don't know. Just type in sexual offender registry or something, and comes right up.
Okay. I hope there's not vendor registry. Okay. I'm kind of I'm curious to see. I live in a neighborhood and I have young kids, so kind of wait, this has the name of the people. They list by this would be really disappointing if I actually have or by zip code. Okay, I'll look at my zip code.
Sexual offenders map.
Okay.
I don't know why you're doing this to yourself, because it's really just going to make you paranoid to live where you live.
Oh, I have to hit I type in one. You know, those boxes where you have to match the code to make sure that you're. Oh God.
Are they right by you?
Well, they gave me names.
Oh.
And so but they're in my zip code. I got okay, only 4 names. Well, 2 guys have the same last name. I guess maybe brothers who are this guy. Okay, here's the first guy. He
Oh my God. I just did my zip code. I'm on familywatchdog.us.
Yeah.
And I typed in my zip code, and 1,335 people came up.
Okay, I had 5.
Wait, what's your zip code? I'll do it on this site.
Well, I'll tell you off the air, but I'm not gonna. Here, I'll text you my zip code.
Okay.
Because it just seems like a bad idea to do on the show. Even though you're not gonna actually find me using my zip code, but I feel like that's okay. So I sent it to you.
Okay.
So this first guy lives in an apartment. Okay. Stick with that guy. Oh, hang on. Why is this guy listed by 2 different names? Donald or Donnie? Okay. Okay, you know what? There's whatever reason they repeat. Okay, they only have 3 people near me.
Let's see. I'm going to go to this site, and we'll see. I have a feeling it's going to be more than 3.
I only found 3 according to this one. Mm-hmm. Oh, this third guy looks the creepiest. The white dude looks the creepiest of all.
Sorry, the answer is 119.
Fuck you. Fuck you. There's no way. What website are you on?
Oh, they have different. They have the offenses. You could say offense against child, sexual battery, rape, or other offense.
Oh, God. Offenses, this guy says his offense was promoting possessing sexual performance by a child. Oh, God.
FamilyWatchdog.us if you want, but you're not going to like it.
Oh, my God. Why are there so many of these?
I don't know. There's a lot of rapey people near you.
Okay, what is it? Family
Watch
attempted rape, second person, 8-year-old.
FamilyWatchdog.us. Anyway, while you check that, let's move on.
Let's move on to finding out how my kids are going to be attacked.
Have you ever heard of quiet clubbing?
I've not heard of quiet clubbing, but is it what they do before they molest the children?
I went to happy hour on Friday at the beer gardens, and
Oh yeah, how was your? By the way, happy birthday! Sorry, I missed your birthday thing.
it's all right.
I am a bad friend. It was my we were celebrating our 7-year wedding anniversary the same night, so I felt like there's another fucking ant on me. It's like crawling. I'm like, oh, am I just feeling it's a fucking ant?
You went to your wedding anniversary instead of my birthday thing?
Yeah, it was kind of dick. Well, it was I have to say, I was like going out to the beer garden in Queens. I'm like, oh, I'm kind of glad I had this excuse anyway. I was like, I don't feel like going anyway. So
Yeah,
we had plans, and we already had a babysitter. So I was like, hey, honey, I know we were going to do our official actual anniversary is tomorrow, but we were going to celebrate on Friday. I know we had our anniversary, but my buddy I do the podcast with, he wants to go to a beer garden. So is it cool if I just skip out on your thing? Are we going to make it the next year? So you tell me about your how was the beer garden?
Holy crap, I just got a flash flood warning on my phone, and then it just started downpouring like 5 seconds later.
Okay, you're not that far from me, so it's wonderful.
Yeah, so basically there was 3 DJs, and you don't hear anything, and then you rent headphones, and each DJ's booth is like a different color. So when you have the headphones on, you have the neon lights by the ears, and that shows what color the DJ you're listening to, and you could change the channel. So like the place was packed with people, like hundreds of people were dancing, but you don't hear any of the music.
Wait, you have headphones and you just listen based on...
Right, it was like, yellow, red, and blue. And
Is everything yellow, red, and blue in your
no,
life?
actually, it was green, blue, and red.
Oh.
So basically, yeah, like you see hundreds of people dancing, and they all have headphones on. They have different color, like depending on which DJ they're listening to. It was interesting.
Really?
Because it'd be like...
not really. This is like a bizarre... Like, I feel like it's kind of weird that you'd want to be at a place where everyone's not listening to the same thing.
Well, it's kind of cool because you're ever like there and you're like, oh, I kind of want to dance, but this song is complete shit. Well, now at least you have 2 other options.
Where was this?
It was at the beer gardens.
Oh, they had it at the beer garden.
Yeah. So it was interesting because like at the beginning it was like kind of evenly split, and then you'd see like a group of the blues start cheering, and then you'd see all the lights start switching to blue to see what they were like cheering about.
Oh.
It was kind of, and then the other DJs are scrambling, trying to win everyone back. It was kind of fun.
That's kind of a cool concept.
Yeah.
Did they have someone dancing? Not someone dancing. Remember last year we went for your birthday, and there was that one guy dancing like for hours on end.
Yeah. That was
on the stage.
They're dancing most of the time.
Okay, cool.
We're running long, so you want to just go through a couple emails?
Yeah, emails and Facebook questions.
Yeah, I realize we're like a month old on emails because I missed a bunch. Lorenzo writes, oh, this is about funfetti. Remember we talked about that like a month ago?
Yes, I remember funfetti.
Lorenzo writes, I would expect the frosting to be included.
How could funfetti not get more downloads than your last episode about video games?
That was a good episode. However, as I enjoy baking, I would never buy a packet of cake mix. Do you know how easy it is to make frosting from scratch? It's just butter, icing sugar, and cream mixed together with some flavoring.
Ooh, I know how to make frosting from scratch. Go on. I did not know how to make frosting. What is it? To repeat that recipe for me?
Butter, icing, sugar, and cream.
Well, where do I get the icing sugar, jackass?
It's the supermarket. Icing. It's sugar. It's just normal sugar.
Okay, is it normal? I'm sorry, Lorenzo. I was just kidding. But is it actually icing sugar or just normal sugar?
I have no idea.
Because if it's icing sugar, why don't you just buy the icing?
Maybe that's an Australian thing.
Because the icing itself is really cheap. So the ingredients are probably more expensive than the actual icing.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Lorenzo also writes, "Hey guys, are either of you guys sneakerheads or were you growing up? What are some of the best and worst popular shoes you've had?"
I was into the pump back in the day. The Reebok
Did you have one?
pump. I had the Reebok pump and I had the Nike pump, which was much less popular.
I came from a super strict, tight-ass family, so I finally got a pair of Jordan 9s when I was about 16. This guy I was sort of friends with came over and saw them fresh out of the box and proceeded to try them on, much to my mother's horror. He may as well have taken a dump on the living room rug. Is that weird, trying on somebody else's shoes?
No, not at all. Is that weird to try on someone else's shoes?
You know, if I hadn't worn them yet, I would be kind of pissed if somebody else broke them in. I remember when I was...
That's not even breaking them in. That's just putting them on.
I don't know. I remember when I was a little kid. I was 8. My dad got me a new baseball bat, and we go to the park to play, and one kid asked to use my bat, and I hadn't used it yet. I was all pissed off. And I'm like, well, I kind of want to be the first one to get a hit with the bat. I don't know. Worst pair.
You probably weren't the first one to use your girlfriend. Isn't that a lot worse than the bat?
The worst pair I had were the LeBron 3s with the Velcro strap, and after
is that offensive?
And after about a month, the Velcro stopped working. Stupid LeBron can't even get 6-year-old sweatshop kids to make a decent pair of shoes.
Yeah, that's true. LeBron, you better get on that.
When I started basketball last month, I got a pair of Kyrie 2s.
Ooh.
That's my first legit sneaker.
Do you think they're any better than regular? Are they any better getting the name brand?
Yeah, I think they are.
Okay. I always thought that stuff was kind of overrated. I mean, they're kind of they look cool, but I feel like the getting the name the Kyrie Irving or Michael Jordan sneakers are kind of they're for style, not for actually doesn't help you in any way.
I don't know. I went to the store and I said I want ankle support sneakers, and he ran right over the Kyries.
Okay.
Lorenzo writes,
"Oh, I want the. We have expensive sneakers for you. Okay. How much were the Kyries?
120.
A lot of money for a pair of sneakers. I think my rule is never pay more than 40.
It is, but whenever I buy the $40 pair, I end up buying another one 6 months later. I figure if I buy a good one, it's gonna last a couple of years.
There's no way the Kyries last for a couple of years.
I don't know. The last basketball sneakers I had lasted about 7 years.
Okay, fine.
Lorenzo writes, "Hi, Mark. I have a solution to one of your problems. Every time Jay talks about video games, you get to tell a kid's poo story after it. Actually, I think Mark is way ahead on kids' poo stories. I mean, I have kids and I like video games, so it's a win-win for me. What are your top 5 video games pre-1990? We had a Commodore 64, so I would say California Games, World Games, Ghosts and Goblins, Cauldron 1 and 2. Do you mean, I don't think it's Cauldron. Gauntlet? And Mr. Cool. Jay, when you mentioned Qbert last week, I nearly got a hard-on. That was a great one, too. So do you have a top 5 pre-1990?
What Nintendo was that?
That was the original.
That's the original. Yeah. I guess Tecmo Ball.
Mm-hmm.
RBI Baseball. Baseball Stars, which is actually a better game. Super Mario 2.
2?
Is 2 part of regular Nintendo or Super Nintendo?
Regular. The first 3 were regular. 2 was the weird one where you could pick up guys and run around holding them.
Yeah, I love that one. That was the one you could also you could get extra lives.
You could get extra lives in all of them.
You're kind of cutting out.
How about now?
Okay, that was the one where you had that. They had it was like a slot machine almost at the end, right?
Yeah.
So I had somehow mastered that, where I got the max number of lives you can get. I hadn't I think it was like 250 something lives I'd gotten basically. From
Oh,
Zone.
wow.
I got really good at winning that basically. I never. It was actually my peak where I peaked in my life. That was my ultimate that was the high point of my life where I nailed. I beat that video game. I mastered that video game, and nothing else would be as complete in my life.
Did you know it was so weird because it actually wasn't a Mario game originally?
What?
It was a game called Doki Doki Panic, and they just put the Mario characters over like the final game. Like originally, it was like Egyptian characters. That's why there's
the original Super Mario or Super Mario 2?
Super Mario 2. That's why Super Mario 2 was so weird and nothing like the other Mario games.
Do you just know random origin stories for all these games?
Because there was a real Super Mario 2, but the Nintendo thought it was too hard for Americans. Like it came out in Japan, and they're like, "There's no way Americans will be able to beat this."
So instead, they came up with this Egyptian game instead.
Yeah. We never got the actual Super Mario 2.
Oh, I actually really liked Super Mario 2 a lot. That was something where you dug in the sand.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a cool game.
Had Birdo.
Yeah. I mastered beating that game. That was that game, and there was maybe it's called Major League. Basically, where I mastered, there was one of the pitchers. There was just one pitch you can do, which was unhittable, and I threw I threw 30 no hitters. Of course, eventually that gets boring. It took me a while for that to get boring, but because they just couldn't hit just one pitch. Somehow it was obviously a problem in the game. Basically,
Yeah.
Joe, are you watching Mr. Robot?
I haven't started season 2 yet.
Oh, I can't really talk about it.
Do you want to finish your top 5?
Did I not finish?
I think you did 3.
Oh, well,
Baseball, Tecmo Bowl, Mario 2.
baseball, Tecmo Bowl. I said RBI baseball too.
You have 2 baseball games in your top 5?
Yeah, you're going to criticize my top 5? My opinion, dude. Lay off. And my...
You have another baseball game you want to throw in as your number 5?
Metroid is not. Metroid is Sega, right?
It doesn't matter. It says pre-1990. Didn't say
Okay,
Nintendo games.
fine.
It didn't say Nintendo games. So,
I'm just going with Nintendo games, okay?
well, Metroid's a Nintendo game anyway.
Fine, Centipede. Centipede's my fifth one.
Metroid's a Nintendo game.
Whatever, Centipede.
Centipede?
Yeah, I'm going with Centipede.
I love Centipede.
Centipede's amazing.
I will
That
go.
and Space Invaders. I love Space Invaders.
Let's see. I will go with Miss Pac-Man, Tetris.
Not Mr. Pac-Man.
No, Miss Pac-Man. Tetris. I really like the Tengen version.
The Tengen version?
Yeah, it came out for Nintendo, and then Nintendo decided they wanted to come out with their own version, so they banned production of the Tengen one. But the Tengen one,
The Tengen Tetris?
yeah, Tengen one was better though.
Oh, how is it different?
The music was better, the graphics were a little better. That's pretty much all you could do with Tetris, really.
It's just like how could Tetris 1 be superior?
You beat boards and Russian guys would come out and start dancing and stuff. It was cool.
What was there was a Mario Tetris thing? It was
Tetris Attack?
Do you know what I'm talking about?
Tetris Attack.
No, it wasn't actually Tetris. It was a game that was like Mario. It was like Tetris, but with a Mario that shoots stuff. Or it was
Dr. Mario.
it was Dr. Mario.
I'm
You know
very,
what I'm talking about?
I'm very good at Dr. Mario.
Oh, I used to love that game.
Yeah.
For a little while, I know I don't really play video games now, but when I was growing up, some of those games I really liked.
Yeah.
I remember being so excited for Alter Beast. When that came out, I thought it was the coolest thing.
Yeah, me too. The bowling alley by my place when I growing up had Altered Beast, and I used to play that all the time.
Yeah, I was like, wow, these graphics are amazing.
I played it recently. It's terrible.
Of course, it's terrible. But I remember when they got the Genesis, and I was like, oh, this is so amazing. I can actually have Alter Beast at home. This is great.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. I remember certain games that you're like, wow, this is the games that suddenly improved so much.
Mm-hmm.
I'd say sports game like NBA Jam. That was another game. It was so awesome to play that.
That's actually still fun.
Is it?
Yeah.
Okay. That one, Ninja Turtles. I loved Ninja Turtles. I spent a good amount of money playing Ninja Turtles in the arcade.
That bowling alley near me had Altered Beast, the X-Men game, Ninja Turtles, Double Dragon, and what's that game with the It's the racing game. It had like 4 steering wheels at once.
I don't know.
Super off road.
Oh, okay.
And the Simpsons game. It was
Simpsons game. That I was just gonna say the Simpsons game. I actually really loved. Also,
it was like every amazing game.
yeah. You know what game I loved also? This also wasn't like a game changer kind of game, but the one where you deliver the
Paperboy.
newspaper, Paperboy. Yeah.
Yes.
That game I remember being addicted to. Also.
Yeah, that was a great game.
Yeah.
Let's see.
They don't make games like that anymore. Now they make these like, I have to go like find Pokemon. What if they made that game like into a virtual reality game where you just delivered newspapers? Like someone comes over, people like you like why do I have 20 newspapers? People are really into the newspaper delivery game now.
Let's see. I need 3 more, right? Jumpman Jr., which is
I don't know that one, but
that was for ColecoVision. That was one of my all-time favorites. Gold Medal Challenge, which was an Olympics game.
are you gonna name any game that other people know?
That was an Olympics game for Nintendo. It had like literally every single event. It was awesome.
Okay.
And for the last one, I will say maybe Mario 3.
I like Mario 3 too. Was Street Fighter and Mortal Kombat were they in the 90s?
I think Street Fighter 2 was like 1990 or 91.
So Street Fighter 1 probably was in pre.
Yes.
I like Street Fighter a lot.
Yeah, you probably never played 1 though. Nobody played 1.
So I only played 2. Why? How do you know?
Because nobody played 1. Like 2 is where it blew up.
Okay, then I played 2.
Yeah.
I was wondering why you were saying 2 came out in 19. I'm like, well, then 1 came out. I didn't realize 1 was so unpopular.
I saw 1 Street Fighter 1 arcade game ever, and I went to a lot of arcades as a kid.
I remember actually my roommate in college had Soul Blade. Did you ever play that?
Soul Calibur?
Soul Calibur, whatever.
Yeah.
I thought that was a really cool game.
Yeah, I played that a little bit. That was really good.
That and Mario Kart. He had Super Mario Kart, whatever. The more recent Mario Kart 64, maybe it was, which was great.
Yeah, I think that was the best one.
Yeah, I would say that was the best one. That one I actually played a lot. Also, at some point I stopped playing video games. I played Bond a little bit. Mm-hmm. And that was pretty much.
I'm probably the only guy on the planet who's never played GoldenEye.
Really?
Yeah.
Of all the games that you like, you're so into games. Why did you never play that?
I have no idea. I just didn't have a group of friends that played it. Like, I feel like everyone I know had like a group of 3 guys, and they all just played that all day, and I just never had that.
My roommate, maybe it was because my roommate also had it. Well, I didn't really like my roommate, but we used to play it a lot. And I remember one day I came back from class, and one of our like neighbors from the hall was in our room playing it, and I'm like, oh, that's cool. Where's Alex? He's like, he's not here. I'm like, how'd you get in if Alex is not here? Oh, I climbed through your window. I said, what the fuck? Are you kidding me?
Gotta love college.
I mean, we weren't that high up. You could actually climb through the window. It wasn't like that ridiculous, but I was like, what the fuck, really? At least he was honest about it, I guess.
Yeah. Peter writes, I'm sorry video game questions upset Mark, but nothing as insipid as baseball and baby chatter. That said, he just guaranteed that you guys will be getting video game questions with much greater frequency. And on that note, Jay, you should consider springing for a PS4. The single-player games and exclusives seem to be much better on PS4. Maybe start a GoFundMe and see how long it takes to raise $300 needed to make it happen.
Do it. Do you think the graphics are so great these days? Like, at some point where like have they reached a peak in the last like 5 years where it's not really getting that much better?
I thought so, and then I got an Xbox One, and I'm like, yeah, this is way better than the 360.
Okay. I was at we were at my cousin's earlier, and they got he said he went to the Best Buy and got the best TV they had, 4K. And he showed me. Have you seen anything in 4K yet?
No.
You know what 4K is?
Kinda, yeah.
It's like the new HD. It's like HD, I guess, whatever. And the picture, like, it's really good, but to a certain extent, you're like, the picture's great, but you're like, is it that, like, do I really need that great of a picture watching TV?
Right.
I don't know. But it is actually was, I would say I expected to see it and be like, wow, this is not really any, like, how much better really is this? But I was like, oh, this actually is a lot better than it. This actually is better than HD.
Yeah. Let's see, we're running really long, so do you want to do a few of the Facebook questions, and we'll get to the rest of the emails next time?
How many emails do we have?
We have a lot more.
Can we just go fast? Go fast. We'll go fast with the emails.
We have a lot more.
How many more?
Like 7 more. Like, and then if we do the Facebook, this is going to be like a 2-hour show again, and I'm not doing a 2-hour show.
Okay, just go to Facebook. Just do the little Facebook questions, and we can go back to the emails.
Okay.
I can't believe we have that many. What happened to the show? What did the time go
I
by?
forgot to read the Facebook questions for the emails for a long time.
We have emails? That's bullshit.
Okay, Facebook questions. Okay, there's not that many.
Steven ain't going on a rampage. Does it mean like the 300 from Steven?
No,
like,
Steven quit Facebook, so his questions are in emails, so we'll have to get to those next time.
why did he quit Facebook?
I don't know. Scott writes, are you guys playing Pokemon Go? I know Mark probably is. Missed last episode, so if this was covered, I blame everyone but me.
I think we've already covered that during the earlier in the episode.
Yes.
Okay.
John writes, which has been more of a shock, Schwarzenegger becoming governor of California or Trump becoming president if elected?
I'm going to say Trump becoming president, it would be 1,000 times more shocking than Schwarzenegger becoming governor of California.
I would agree.
I mean, Schwarzenegger, it was kind of weird that he became governor of California, but he wasn't like some crazy person either.
Right, exactly. And it's, governor is a big step down from president. So it's...
Yeah. There were both ends of him not being as crazy and the office not being quite as crazy.
Right. Okay, so Andrew writes, did the black mold end up being deadly?
Okay.
So
Are you still alive?
I sent the mold to a lab, and the results came back, and it's not the super deadly kind. And the landlord...
God, another fucking ant!
So the landlord said he's going to fix up the bathroom this month, and then all I have to do is deal with noise every day.
I think if where I'm finding these ants, if they were cockroaches calling on me, I might just kill myself. Go. But I'm glad to hear that you don't have deadly mold.
Andrew writes, because the last episode is a video game episode to please Jay, does this mean there will be a baseball episode for Mark?
The Mets have been kind of like, they won today, but they so many injuries. Now, Cabrera, the shortstop, got injured. It's been absurd how many guys have been injured.
Andrew writes, have you ever seen anyone doing parkour and fail?
What parkour is that where they do like basically like gymnastics, but in like a playground or a park or somewhere?
Yeah.
I saw an MTV Real World about it. It is kind of crazy what they can do.
It is. I've never seen anybody try and mess up, but I do think it would look funny.
Have you ever seen anyone do it in general? Not not on TV or like a video, but like in real life.
No.
Yeah, I've never seen anyone actually do it.
I feel like they fail a lot before they make that awesome clip.
I thought they must. People must break bones all the time.
All the time. Andrew writes, how's the new theme song going?
Yeah, what's going on with the theme song, Jay?
So I got a message from the guy who offered it, and...
He said I was just kidding.
No, he wrote, so retard rampage, Taco Tuesday, and no reference to the Mets. I said, yeah, it sounds like we gave you an impossible task. And he said he'll figure something out. He's busy, so by the end of the year, we should have something.
So I think I thought of another one that we should definitely do. Oh, we should do some kind of the Super Bowl commercial. Some reference to that.
All right, well, Nick, if you're still listening,
that Super Bowl commercial episode was really funny.
Trying to win the lotto so we can spend it all on one Super Bowl ad for our crappy podcast.
Oh, and Jay making bring T-shirts. Bring T-shirts should be on there.
Maybe we should have something about Mark battling ants and Jay battling mold and noise.
Yeah. Review us on iTunes. That should be on there.
Mm-hmm. I hope he listens to this episode, too.
Okay.
Let's see. Almost done. Andrew writes, will there ever be a return of the Cramming for College theme song for the show? Wow, Andrew's going back into the archives for that one.
This is pre-me? I don't even know what this is.
Might be.
It has to be me. I have no idea what you're talking about.
It's a great porno song called Cramming for College.
Great what song?
Great. I said it's a great song that is like a porno soundtrack.
Oh.
It's called Cramming for College.
Okay.
Yeah. I will. I want me to just make that the outro so you can hear it.
Yeah, send me looking it up.
Okay. Andrew writes, what's the stereotype of New York that you hate the most? I would say that it's super dangerous because it's really not.
Yeah, that's a good one. The one I kind of find annoying is when they say people are always in a rush.
No, that's true.
It is true, but it's like, part of it is that like there are tourists that are walking around me like, oh, people are walking around me really fast because they're like, yeah, because I have to get to work. You're in my way.
Right.
I don't know, because part of it is because the tourist area and where you work are kind of like, at least in Times Square, they're like the same area.
Yeah, it's also a good Pokemon area.
I bet there is. No, I guess, but the dangerous thing, it's not a bad one. I'm trying to think of anything else that's good.
Because everyone's like, "Oh, you're going to New York. You better be careful. Keep your wallet close." And it's like, considering how many people are there, it's really not dangerous.
The one about it being too expensive, that is highly accurate.
Yes, it's probably the most accurate stereotype ever.
There was something I was reading, and they're like, is New York, is the biggest thing everyone shares is the question of, is New York worth it? And everyone obviously agrees that it's not, but they still live here.
Yeah, exactly. And finally, Andrew writes, do you guys like Formula One?
I've not really watched it too much. Are you a big fan?
No, I can't really get into much race car driving.
I mean, for the longest time, I thought NASCAR and Formula One were the same exact thing, until it was explained to me that they're completely different.
Yeah. They
I
make
don't
lefts and rights in Formula One, I believe.
left. What do you mean?
NASCAR's only left-hand turns.
I thought Formula One was just when you're on a straight track, like the sprint.
I don't think.
Oh, is it going in a circle also?
No, I think it's an actual different track. I think they could go left and right.
Oh, okay. Well, I don't. I mean, I'm sure they're both equally. I'm sure not equally. I'm sure they're both really hard as a driver. And I'm sure you could make a case for it being a sport. It just seemed kind of. I could never really think it'd be really, really fun to watch a race or go to a race or
Yeah.
anything involved in a race. I can't imagine it being. I can't believe people watch it. Basically.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's not the. I don't know. Yeah, I've not been very into it. It'd probably be cool to drive on the cars, though.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. We will get to all the rest of your questions next week. Thank you for sending them in. thebrinkofsanity@gmail.com, brinkofsanity3.
What did we learn today, Jay?
Please leave us a review on iTunes. Buy some Brink shirts. And
I've seen like 30 ants since we've been fucking doing this show. This is unbelievable. I don't even understand.
we learned a lot about Pokemon Go.
Yeah, and I have a lot of ants. I think because it rains, the ants come inside.
Could be.
Could be. Okay. We learned enough. Okay, we're out.
All right. Here's Cramming for College.
Okay, class. Our final exam will be coming up at the end of this week. The test will be comprised of 20% written, 30% oral, and 50% anal. Any questions?
Professor,
Yes, dear.
will there be any...
Let's skip this song. There we go.